It's no secret that Apple has the best ecosystem in the industry, and that's just part of the reason why Apple is so successful. But is there any company that can challenge Apple's ecosystem? And can they potentially beat Apple? So, what is an ecosystem? It's a biological community of interacting organisms and their physical environments. Or in a tech definition, a complex network or interconnected system. So let's take a look at what Apple is doing with their ecosystem. The hook, if you want to call it that, into the ecosystem is the iPhone. With an iPhone, you get iMessage, which has become an important reason for switching over or buying an iPhone in the first place. Then if you want to listen to music, well, you can't connect headphones to the iPhones with a wire, so wireless is the only option you have. There's a lot of wireless headphones and AirPods on the market, but AirPods work so incredibly well with the iPhone. This is more than I can say about other solid options out there. And now Apple has options ranging from the cheap second generation AirPods to the AirPods Max. And all those support spatial audio, which conveniently is something that Apple offers with Apple Music. But then you might want to get a computer. You now own an iPhone and AirPods that both works great with a Mac. You get iMessage on a Mac and your AirPods connect seamlessly to the Mac through iCloud. You want a smartwatch too? Apple sells the Apple Watch, which gives you notifications on your wrist, and you get those blue bubbles there as well. If you know someone else with an Apple Watch, you can gamify it. And not to mention the Fitness Plus that is well integrated with the Apple Watch. To watch Fitness Plus, you can throw it up on your TV with Apple TV. If you want a smart speaker, you might as well just go with the HomePod. All this works so well together because Apple optimizes the software and the hardware they are putting into their devices, and for every Apple device you own, it's harder to get out because of the walls are getting higher and higher. So, who can challenge Apple's ecosystem? Samsung was actually one of the first that came to mind. They of course have a bunch of phones in a wide price range, as well as smartwatches and AirPods, tablets, computers and even smart appliances. But they still rely on Google for Android and Microsoft for Windows. Despite that, if Samsung really goes for it, I think they could have a chance, because they have a wide range of products that could talk to each other, just as they were forced to make a huge change after Trump banned trading with them and the US companies in 2020. That means Huawei couldn't realistically use Android if they wanted to stay competitive with their phones, laptops, smartwatches and AirPods. They now use Harmony OS as an Android replacement. Huawei also needs to make its own chips. All this means that Huawei could be as tightly integrated with hardware and software as Apple is. The last company I could think of is Google. They make Android, and with the new Pixel devices, they have the Tensor chip. I think this is just the beginning of Google's path with custom silicon. Google controlled the software experience and now the hardware as well. Since Google already makes a custom version of Android for the Pixel line, they could really optimize the user experience and could include their own devices like smart speakers, Chromebooks, smart home devices, and even the rumored Pixel Watch, if that ever sees the light of day. I think Google really has a shot at this, unless Google really wants to expand their graveyard of discontinued products. If you could see a competitor to Apple, ruling out Huawei here because of their situation, at least in the global market, we have to think if you want a closed or open ecosystem. If you want a more open ecosystem, just look at what Samsung and Google already do, but know that they might not be able to compete 100% with Apple. But I think there is and should be room for at least one more ecosystem. So let me know what you think down in the comments. And you should also watch this video to get a grip on why iMessage is so popular and why Apple probably won't add RCS support. So if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and consider subscribing for more tech-related content.